Hello, and welcome to the American Heart Association's Minnesota Empowered to Serve Business Accelerator. I am Arkel Giorgio, Chief Health Officer at Starkey Hearing Technologies. And I have to say that when I hear the words women, empowered, and business in the same sentence, I want a front row seat. So thank you so much for being here. I am truly delighted to be here this evening. I've been following the candidate stories online, and I'm excited to see who will end the night with a grant. Before we get started, I'd like to invite you to use the chat feature in YouTube throughout the program. Give your favorite candidate a shout out and some encouragement. It's a big evening for them. You'll also have the chance to interact through some poll questions. To get set up with polling, please take out your cell phone and text AHA polling to the number 22333. You'll receive a text confirmation that you've joined the session and can text your answers to take part in this evening's interactive polling. The American Heart Association believes that every person deserves the opportunity for a full, healthy life. They're working to address health inequity by overcoming major barriers like social determinants of health and structural racism, because these factors have a significant impact on the hearts and brains of so many Americans. This year's Business Accelerator program seeks to empower women, social entrepreneurs, and businesses in the Twin Cities that foster equitable access to good health. Each candidate completed small business development training and received 4 weeks of MBA-style business training. At the Go Red for Women Evening of Empowerment in February, attendees voted for a, quote, fan favorite, awarding Shay Chaz with the new MPLS a $2,500 grant. Many congratulations to her. Tonight, we're here to celebrate these 8 extraordinary women and their business ventures. We'll hear from each of them as they present their community-centered solutions that seek to change behaviors, expand access to resources, and improve the long-term health of Minnesota women by overcoming systemic challenges. At the conclusion of the event, our panel of judges, whom I'll introduce shortly, will announce the first and second place finalists, who will receive grants of $15,000 and $10,000 respectively. The top 2 will also receive professional styling and an outfit from Evereve, as well as a year-long membership to Modern Well, a women-centered collaborative space. Now, I would like to take a moment to thank the 2021 Twin Cities Go Red for Women sponsors who fund this mission. And a special thank you to Mayo and Cheerios for sponsoring the Empowered to Serve Business Accelerator in Minnesota. We'd also like to thank our 2021 co-chairs of Go Red for Women, Dr. Courtney Jordan Beckler and Tiffany Boyd, as well as the rest of the executive leadership team. Their dedication and passion for this cause helped make the first women-focused Business Accelerator possible. Now, before we introduce our panel of esteemed judges, we have a trivia question. To participate, the first thing you need to do is take out your smartphone and text AHA polling to the number 22333. Once you've sent that, then you can text in your answer. So here's the question. What percent of cardiovascular disease can be prevented through education and lifestyle changes, such as moving more, eating smart, and managing blood pressure? The choices are A, 20%, B, 50%, C, 80%, D, 100%, and E, none of the above. I'm going to give you a few minutes to take out your cell phone, follow all those instructions, and answer this question. Sometimes we think that it's maybe just one or the other. Maybe it is, or maybe it's all of them. So why don't you answer and tell us what you think? Okay. I am I'm going to tell my conference organizers that I wasn't seeing all of what your responses were, but I will tell you the answer is that 80% of cardiovascular disease can be prevented through education and lifestyle changes such as moving more, eating smart, and managing blood pressure, as well as reducing your risk for cardiovascular disease being reduced by limiting alcohol, managing stress, and avoiding tobacco. So moving from the poll, we have 5 extraordinary influencers who have the very difficult task tonight of selecting the grantees. Let me introduce our judges right now. First up is Sam Yamoa. Sam is an associate partner at McKinsey & Company who has worked in healthcare for almost 20 years. Sam's professional passion is making healthcare affordable and accessible, especially for the least well-off in our society. Sam currently serves on the board of the American Heart Association. Sam, it's great to have you here.
Thanks so much, Arkel. It's an honor to be here and part of an organization on a mission to improve some of the top killers of folks' heart disease and stroke. We're funding really great research, life-saving research, and closing equity gaps, and promoting social entrepreneurship. So I'm proud to be a part of the organization. And as we know, social entrepreneurs are committed to making this country more equitable and just. And case in point of this illustrious group of women that are finalists today, all motivated to improving lives and livelihoods in our community. So again, very excited to be here and along the journey as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Sam, and thank you for all that you do. Our next judge is Dr. Rekha Mankad. Sorry about that. Dr. Mankad is an assistant professor of medicine in the Division of Cardiovascular Diseases and the director of the Women's Heart Clinic at Mayo Clinic in Rochester. She also directs the Cardio Room Clinic, where she focuses on heart disease in high-risk rheumatologic patients. Dr. Mankad is a fellow of the American College of Cardiology and a member of the American Society of Echocardiography. Dr. Mankad?
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here. I am so thrilled for this event, and I'm excited that Mayo Clinic is one of the sponsors for this event as well. So I get sort of 2 hats with that, both being a judge and being part of Mayo Clinic. I've been a cardiologist for over 20 years and have been part of the American Heart Association and the Go Red programs for most of that time. So I've seen a lot of growth in those 20 years. More and more people know that heart disease is the #1 killer of women. But there's large swaths of our population that either don't know that information or don't have access to do something about improving their own heart health. So I'm so excited for everyone to meet these amazing women who each in their own way is doing something to change that in their own communities. They're going to change the sort of landscape on health equality, which ultimately is going to improve health equity. So I am so excited for everyone to meet them. I've been honored to meet them, and I'm so thankful to be a part of this program. So thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Mankad. And I see that you're working on the front lines and you maybe just came out of the cath lab and you're making time to be here. So thank you so much for all that you do in serving patients. Our third judge is Maria Jaramillo. Maria is a business unit director at General Mills, overseeing the adult cereal portfolio and growth strategies for key retailers for the cereal operating unit. She's an experienced leader in fast-moving consumer goods with over 15 years of experience in the US and international markets. Maria is a proud Latina and has passion for helping women succeed in the business world. Maria, thank you for serving as a judge this evening.
Thank you so much for having me here. I'm excited to be part of this event. I'm deeply passionate about social entrepreneurship, and I love the work that the American Heart Association is doing to empower women to create businesses that help solve some of the health and nutrition problems that we have in our communities. I'm honored today to be representing General Mills, who is one of the sponsors of the Minnesota EmPOWERED to Serve Business Accelerator. And I'm thankful to be here. And thank you for all the participants for sharing your commitment to create a better communities, showing your passion and the courage to participate in this event and this competition.
Thank you so much, Maria. And how wonderful it is to work for a consumer product foods company that recognizes the importance of contributing to causes like this. We really appreciate you and the company that you work with. This next judge is also a co-chair of the American Heart Association's Twin Cities Go Red for Women campaign. I'm proud to introduce Tiffany Boyd. Tiffany is the Senior Vice President and Chief People Officer at McDonald's USA, as well as a member of its U.S. Senior Leadership Team. Prior to this role, Tiffany worked at General Mills for nearly 23 years. Tiffany is deeply committed to youth education and health and wellness. She's done board work and consulting projects focused on closing the achievement gap for kids of color. Tiffany, it is so great to have you here.
Thank you, Arkell. It's so nice to be here. I am really excited about today. It's almost like birthing a baby for me because about 9 months ago, Courtney, my dear co-chair, and I started talking with AHA about this concept of bringing women together who were focused on closing the health equity gap and really highlighting the work of people who are sort of in community, working for underserved communities. As someone who has lost both my mother and my grandmother, as well as other close family members to heart disease and diabetes, I know the importance of the ground game that's really important in solving these issues. So I am grateful to be here to have this opportunity and to lift up the voices of the women that are a part of this program.
Thank you so much. And we're grateful for your service to the American Heart Association and being a co-chair with our certainly last but not least judge, Dr. Courtney Jordan Beckler, who is not only a judge, but a dear friend. So you called her your dear co-chair, and she is a dear friend to me as well. Dr. Jordan Beckler serves as the medical director of the Emerging Science Centers at the Minneapolis Heart Institute Foundation, focusing on the Women's Science Center and the Prevention Center. She's a board certified internist and cardiologist. Courtney, how are you?
Hi, I'm great. It's so great to see you guys. And I'm so thrilled, Arkell and Tiffany. It's just wonderful to work with you both. As you mentioned, I love doing what I do as a cardiologist, but this would not be possible if we don't continue to change what we do outside of the clinic. So I'm thrilled to see these participants and the innovation behind the 80% that happens outside the walls of our clinics and hospitals that really will ultimately dictate health and communities thriving. So with that, let's get on with the show.
Awesome. That's awesome. Well, thank you. And thank you to all of our judges this evening. We appreciate each of you volunteering your time and support to the Accelerator. I know you're all eagerly awaiting the story pitches, but first take a quick look at what the Empowered to Serve Business Accelerator is all about.
In the United States, nearly half of all adults have some form of cardiovascular disease, often caused by the lack of access to the most basic needs. Needs such as healthy food, clean air and drinking water, quality education, transportation, employment, and housing. The American Heart Association is committed to making a difference in community health. As a result, the Empowered to Serve Business Accelerator supports entrepreneurs who design solutions to improve health in their under-resourced communities. Our goal? To address health disparities and create health equity for all. Over the past 4 years, the Business Accelerator has trained close to 50 social entrepreneurs nationwide and provided over $500,000 in grant funding. Media outlets such as CNN and Fast Company magazine have recognized and highlighted the great work our candidates have accomplished. Now, in the midst of the global pandemic, our communities are experiencing even more challenges. The American Heart Association is proud to support, uplift, and help scale innovative solutions and the changemakers behind them during this difficult time. It is our goal to find the brightest social innovators around the world. We are excited to support and help scale the visionary ideas of the entrepreneurs who will be sharing their ideas with all of us today. Get ready to be inspired.
You heard that right. In the United States, nearly half of all adults have some form of cardiovascular disease. often caused by a lack of access to the most basic needs. It's time to meet the candidates who are designing solutions to improve health in their communities. Earlier this week, our judges had the opportunity to interview each of our candidates to learn more about their business pitches. Today, the candidates will have up to 5 minutes to share their business story and how it impacts the health equity of women in the Twin Cities. First up, we'll hear from Batala McFarlane from Insight News iHeal, an organization that advances health equity through storytelling, investigative journalism, actionable research, convenings, and programming.
Good evening. The answers to some of this country's biggest issues reside in the communities and with the people who are the most impacted by these problems. These big problems require big solutions. And that's why I've launched the Insight Health Equity Action Lab, or iHeal, which advances health equity by working in partnership with communities like North Minneapolis to identify, to develop, and to test strategies for creating neighborhoods where everyone thrives. I believe healing begins with acknowledgement and with awareness. Our community can and must know its power to create healing that it requires. It is this sentiment that inspired my dad, Al McFarlane, to found Insight News 47 years ago in the basement of my parents' North Minneapolis home. It was at the time a big idea. Yes, there were other Black publications here, but he believed there was a need for more information that amplified Black lives in communities like North Minneapolis. His mission was to use Insight's platform to celebrate us as healers, as builders, and as solution creators. I've worked in and now lead the family business for most of my adult life. One of the things I enjoy most about leading this business is the connections we make through the power of narrative. People are more likely to make informed decisions when they receive information from a trusted institution and when they see their images in those stories. So that's why we know as journalists, we can play a critical role in advancing health equity. Several years ago, excited about our experiences working out with personal trainers, my dad and I, we had a big idea. The big idea was to create a fun yet challenging 10-week program for people in communities like North Minneapolis. In 2013, we created the Insight to Health Fitness Challenge, which connected participants to fitness experts, yoga, nutrition coaching, and life coaching. In 6 years, we hosted about 300 participants who lost more than 1,100 pounds and 430 inches. North Point Health and Wellness, a founding partner, recognized the impact the program had. So they referred their patients to the 10-week challenge, and they also offered it as an employee benefit. A few factors that supported the fitness challenge's success were solid programming led by experienced personnel, sharing participant stories through Insight News, and receiving technical and financial support from organizations like North Point Health and Wellness. Most importantly, we created an environment and an experience where people felt welcomed, felt believed, felt valued and empowered, and saw themselves as part of the solution and not the problem. We haven't hosted a program in 2 years, but during this time, I thought deeply about how we could expand the Insight to Health impact. It became clear to me that we had an opportunity to create transformative change, not only with the fitness challenge, but also by doing more storytelling and working with the researchers, the community organizers, the healers, and the technologists in our communities to create strategies that advance health equity. And that is why I'm launching iHeal. At the core of this work is the community. Black Minnesotans experience some of the worst health outcomes in the country, in particular, outcomes in cardiovascular health. This is not because we are Black, it's because of factors such as the lack of access to quality health care, the lack of access to activities or interventions that support healthy hearts, and because of information from outside of our community that depicts us as the problem, and we are not the problem. I believe that there's a huge opportunity to open the pipeline of information. There's an opportunity to create a whole community in which everyone does well, to create communities where everyone can thrive. And this work is not successful if it's not done in partnership with community. Over the next several months, we've committed ourselves to listening to people in community, to hear what they need, how they vision a healthy community. So we also want to listen to people, those who've been harmed the most by COVID-19 and by what is now being called the twin pandemic of racism. We plan on doing surveys and also grassroots organizing, like knocking on doors up in the Hawthorne and Jordan communities in North Minneapolis. I recently read the perfect statement: change the story and change the world. It's that simple. It's why iHeal's work is important, and it's why this big idea can help solve a big problem. Thank you.
Patala, thank you. And I believe as well. So as a physician in the media, I know how important storytelling is. So congratulations to all that you're doing. Our next innovator is Marley Dorsey with Reviving Roots Therapy and Wellness, an organization that focuses on intergenerational trauma, social justice, and relational cultural work. Marley?
Thank you. I am so grateful to be here. I am a liberation-focused therapist and a certified clinical trauma professional. And really what that means is that I've dedicated the last 10 years of my career to working and practicing within the intersections of culture, activism, and mental health. One thing that we all kind of know about mental health is that it impacts the way that we interact with ourselves and connect with ourselves and others. Another thing that I think we kind of all have an idea of is that our mental health really has an impact on our physical health, our immune health, our digestive health, even some of the inflammation that, I feel in my knees sometimes. One thing that we don't often talk enough about is the role of culture in our ways of connecting with ourselves and with other people. And representation is really, really important within our cultures. One statistic that really jumped out at me when I was doing research for this was that Black Americans seek mental health services at a rate that's about 4 times less than white Americans. Even when the need is the same, and sometimes higher. So this means that it's not that we don't need support, it's not that we don't seek support, it's that when we look for support within the mental health system as it exists now, we don't really like our options. So Reviving Roots is kind of offering a culture shift when it comes to mental health in this country. We're moving from mental health to mental wellness. Mental health meaning, there's something wrong with you. There's something that needs to be fixed. We're going to offer you this treatment. It's very cut and dry, very individualistic, and it doesn't really take into consideration the culture that we all operate in. Reviving Roots Therapy and Wellness hopes to move towards wellness as a beautiful resistance to the status quo as it is now. Wellness meaning we're taking into consideration your mind, your body, and your spirit when we're offering services to you. We're offering an opportunity to be within a community, a space where you feel like you can belong. In order to do this, we're offering Black serving, Black centered, and Black affirming mental wellness services, holistic services. Meaning yoga, group meditation, group self-defense, and then also individualized, culturally competent, trauma-informed mental health therapy, and trauma-informed massage and body work. By offering this space, this physical space for the Black community to heal on their own terms, we are offering the Black community an opportunity to heal in a way that's for themselves, for the generations that came before them that might not have gotten the opportunity to care for themselves in these ways, and to build a brighter and better future for the generations to come. So I appreciate your time and your attention and kind of hearing me stumble through this presentation. And I really do feel that that together we can create a future for the Black community that is healthy and whole, create a legacy of health and healing.
Thank you so much, Marla. You did beautifully, and I do hope that we realize your vision of this culture change from just mental health to also mental wellness. So appreciate all that you are doing. Next, we'll hear from Shay Sandifer with the new MPLS. The new MPLS uses a holistic approach to teach others how to break generational cycles, that fitness is fun and nutrition and wellness is key to good health. Shay?
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here today to talk about the change that the new MPLS is making in the community and how it all got started. 10 years ago, coming out of domestic abuse and lost in all types of ways, not knowing where to go or how to heal from the inside out, I found myself on the floor, drowning in abuse and lost in disparity. I thought, how could I make this a better way? How can I get out of this? How can I heal myself? And that's how fitness, nutrition, and wellness became part of who I am today and who the new MPLS is. It has been quite a journey. It has been ups and downs. It has been loss of friendships, of relationships, of a marriage, but it also has been uplifting of how I could help myself and others heal. I took this time over the last 10 years to build myself into the community and help others understand what it was going to take to get out of situations like I was in. With that being said, my fitness journey started off with working out in front of my TV every day for 30 minutes at 5 a.m., putting the bottle down, which was a huge problem. I was drinking a lot of wine at the time to heal myself. And then understanding that the power of fitness could take me so much further than I ever thought. By starting off in parks in the Twin Cities and offering donation-based classes, I was able to touch individuals I never thought I'd be able to touch. Partnering with different community partners and expanding myself throughout the Twin Cities. From there, I was able to build a health community through wellness and through trauma healing. I'm so excited for all the opportunities that I've gained through all of this and how I have learned how to help others. The new MPLS daily, every day, helps people understand their potential of how they can get through life. We have meal prep classes that teach people how to eat healthy. We also have the farmers market, the Camden Farmers Market. One of my favorite things of part of the new MPLS. The farmers market is hosted in North Minneapolis, right here in the Twin Cities. We have over 40 vendors that offer everything from fruits, vegetables, to jewelry making, to fitness classes, to meal prep classes, to everything you can think of that encompasses community. We also now have a wellness part of our program, and it's called Let Go, Let Flow. It's a wellness part of my company that helps with anti-racist work, helping with the Black community through trauma, working with Black men and understanding their value, and speaking with white women and bridging that gap. Overall, being empowered to serve in the community is part of my passion, my everyday life. I love that Let Go, Let Flow, the new MPLS, fitness, wellness, nutrition can help others heal through the inside out.
Thank you so much, Shay. That sounds wonderful. And I really admire your willingness to be vulnerable. It's clearly what creates your passion. Adversity always makes us stronger. So thank you for that. Our next candidate is Kimberly Brown with Get Up and Get Moving. The Get Up and Get Moving program seeks to bring health and wellness to people from all walks of life by making it simple and accessible. Kimberly?
Thank you so much, and I'm very excited to be here. It's time to make a change. I'm gonna make a new start. I'm gonna do things different this time for the sake of my heart. I'm gonna leave the past behind. Don't wanna live with no regrets. I'm thankful for another chance. Might be the only one I get. So get up and get moving to a brand new day. You've got the power inside if you want to find a new way. Get up, get moving to a brand new start. Bring a friend and join the family. Do it for the sake of your heart. And just like the theme song says, that's what we encourage communities everywhere to do, to get up and get moving. I am the founder of Get Up, Get Moving. It is a motivational fitness program designed to help people begin their health journey by giving them simple and effective ways to reach their physical activity goals and also make better nutrition choices. Now, I love to sing, and I've been blessed to have some once-in-a-lifetime opportunities, like traveling around the world with the Sounds of Blackness and singing with legends like Luther Vandross and Prince. Now, with all this amazing star power around me, whose lights shine ever so brightly, I realized that there's star power in all of us. Whether we're standing on a stage performing, whether we're taking care of our families, or helping out in our own communities. But for many, their personal health has slipped to the bottom of the priority list. Now, we have a problem right here in Minnesota, right here in our own communities. And I'm going to specifically partner with local churches and faith communities by offering a series of 30-day challenges. For many, physical health has slipped because of busy schedules, lack of access, not having clear and relatable directions on health. But Get Up, Get Moving challenges are designed to start them with 15 minutes of daily physical activity and work their way up to 30 minutes a day. We can and we will lead local communities to better health. Our challenges are designed to take the faith community and others to the next level of health right here in Minnesota. And this grant can do just that. With it, we can develop an app that will provide videos, tips from fitness experts and nutrition coaches, and build a community of movers who actually inspire each other. This grant will also help us have regular health checkup challenges with local health experts who can regularly track and work with our movers, then teach them how to track and manage their own health, take their own blood pressure numbers, glucose, cholesterol, keep track of it all, simply all of their overall health. Get Up, Get Moving campaign is a must. We have a commitment to lead Minnesota churches to better health. This program is vital in the Twin Cities. There are over hundreds of churches right here with exponential mothers, grandmothers, and people that are essential to supporting their communities. People are dying unnecessarily, and their neglect to their own health has caused a rise in diagnoses, in disease, and in death. Everyone is a star in the lives of their own family and in the eyes of their own family. But our goal is to ensure that Get Up, Get Moving encourages community leaders and residents alike to live optimal lives with optimal health. So, with every effort possible, we will continue to inspire and motivate to get up and get moving.
Oh my goodness. Kimberly, I got up and got moving just listening to the introduction to your description of your company. That was absolutely amazing. Okay, so now it's time to try this second poll. We're going to try it one more time. If you haven't already registered, text AHA polling to the number 22333, then submit your answer. And if you participated in the first poll, simply text in your answer to the same number. So we're going to try this one more time. I hope it works this time. What percentage of Black women have cardiovascular disease? Option A, 57%, B, 12%, C, 30%, D, 4%, or E, none of the above. So I'll just wait a few seconds to see how all of you may be responding. I'm seeing some answers pop up on the screen. Good news that it's working this time. And what I'm seeing is that the predominant number of people have said, 91% of people have said that it's A, 57%. And that is the correct answer. 57% of Black women have cardiovascular disease, which claims the lives of more Black women than all forms of cancer, accidents, and Alzheimer's disease combined. Okay, so let's get back to the candidates. Next up is Jana Martin with FoodRx. This is a chronic disease management program delivering culturally specific nutrition prescriptions. Jana?
Thank you so much. I'm the FoodRx program manager and registered dietitian at Second Harvest Heartland, and I absolutely love what I do for 105 million families across the state. And as you might know, that our work went to a whole new level with COVID. And as successful as our program has been, there is one thing that we and many other programs fall short. And I got a chance to see this firsthand unexpectedly this fall. And it was a beautiful day this fall in October when I was making butternut squash soup. And I needed an onion, just one onion. And so the store is a mile away from my home. So I thought, I'll go grab the onion quick and get out. So I masked up and went in and found my 89-cent onion and headed to the checkout. And suddenly I kind of felt very eerie. And I looked around, there was nobody in the grocery store. It's usually packed full. And I thought, is this worth dying for an onion, just one onion? No, I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna go out. So I start heading to the checkout. There's only one checkout line open. And with my luck, the woman ahead of me was buying food for a small army. I had one onion. So I waited and I was really getting nervous. So I took out my phone and started scrolling. Then everything stopped. The food stopped on the belt. The beeps from the cash register stopped. And I suddenly heard this panicking conversation happening with someone crying, sobbing, actually. So I went up to the front to find out what was happening. And I'll share what happened here in a minute. But in that moment, I realized how awesome my work is and how I love what I do for a living and how far FoodRx has come and where we can go. We know hunger, health, and nutrition, as so do many other programs. But what we also know about the factors that lead to hunger, poor nutrition, and poor health. FoodRx was born at Second Harvest Heartland when we got together and realized that we were not fully doing our jobs. Sure, we could deliver food, distribute food. We were one of the best to do so. But passing out food boxes must be linked to improving health over a long period of time, while addressing what was causing the food insecurity in the first place. Our docs realized that patients suffering from diabetes and hypertension, for example, were not getting the accurate treatment because they were depending on medicine versus food as medicine. So FoodRx was developed to bridge the gap between the two sectors, partnering with healthcare partners to provide medically tailored nutrition boxes and spotlighting connections between poor health and food insecurity. In 2020, we served over 8,000 patients and were able to provide over 25,000 meals. We provide the whole constellation of options, such as medically tailored food prescriptions that are culturally specific to meet anyone's needs, nutrition education, and recipes that taste good and provide good nutrition, and best of all, SNAP assistance. This entire program is a solution to help improve chronic disease and food insecurity. FoodRx is ready to provide 1 million meals with your help. If we receive this grant, we will be able to scale our approach throughout the entire country. We're ready to make medically tailored prepared meals for our patients and to grow our efforts to address other diet-related chronic diseases. But I have to tell you that FoodRx does have some side effects that I must disclose. Using FoodRx may include increased connection, better living, and a healthier community. Oh, and about our friend in the grocery store. So as this drama unfolded, I did the only natural thing that I could think of. I asked her what was wrong. And the woman turned to me and said, all 4 of my credit cards have just been declined. In this moment, I saw her fear, her worry, and her shame because she couldn't afford food for her family. Hunger changed her life, and there are thousands like her. Communities can't thrive if their neighbors are hungry. So I did the only thing I could think of. I handed the cashier my credit card to pay for her groceries. but I did remind the cashier to not forget my one onion. Thank you so much for listening.
Jenna, thank you for that generous act. I know that what I have learned from Second Harvest Heartland is that someone with food insecurity can be our neighbor, and we all need to remember that. So thank you for all that you do. Our next innovator is Carlene Bankston with Dine for Dinners, an organization that provides unique in-home dining experiences to raise funds for food security organizations. Carlene?
Thank you so much. As the founder of Dine for Dinners, I am coming to you from my home office, my kitchen, located in Lindstrom, Minnesota. But my life's journey has taken me all around the world. As a personal chef, I have prepared luxurious 5-course meals, from Italian to Scandinavian to Asian-inspired, for family and friends, community leaders, and business executives. I have been extremely fortunate, but I'm fully aware of the fact that while many go to bed satisfied every night, so many more do not. Without food, there is no security. Without food, there is no independence. And without food, there is no comfort. I am determined to combat hunger in partnership with organizations who provide meals for those in need of daily nourishment through dependable, reliable, and sustainable sources. I've always had a passion for cooking. Being a leader in the community and giving back to others came later in life through understanding how to serve others from a place of empathy and goodwill. The pivotal moment that bridged my two passions of cooking and giving back came from the decision to give a gift of recognition points to a local food organization, giving them the ability to provide 400 meals to feed the hungry. My two passions came to light, creating memorable meals and giving back to others in need to nourish their bodies and soul. Dine for Dinners was born. The business model supports both foodies and people in need of daily nourishment. Imagine the next time you sit down to a meal, you're paying it forward to support a family in need. 25% of the cost of a Dine for Dinners dining experience goes to food organizations of the client's choice. I am grateful to be a part of the bigger mission in ending hunger. In 9 months, 34,000 meals have been donated to food organizations through a Dine for Dinners dining experience. The in-home cooking experience has also provided a means for other ways of giving back through my cooking. Through the newly launched virtually cooking experiences, 2,000 meals has been donated so far, and $37,000 has been raised in supporting communities and charities initiatives. I am particularly excited about the children's cooking experiences and how to live a healthy lifestyle through conversations about healthy eating and healthy cooking. Proper nutrition drives the immune system and ensures a healthy heart, mind, and body. Dine for Dinners is committed to bringing awareness to hunger and closing that hunger gap, and also to be recognized as a trusted, ethical, and compassionate organization. If Dine for Dinners is to receive a grant, it would use the grant to create food health education programs virtually and within communities, as well as establish a match and gift program, doubling the food donations to food organization. As I recall seeing the footage of cars lined up waiting to receive food as a result of COVID-19, I think about the 36,000 meals that have been donated to date through a Dine for Dinners dining experience to feed those in need. Dine for Dinners has given individuals a turnkey way to give back while enjoying a meal. Because with food, there is security. With food, there is independence, and with food, there is comfort.
Carlene, thank you so much. And as things begin to open up, I look forward to participating in Dine for Dinners as well, and really excited to see what the children learn in your program. Now we'll hear from Valerie Turner with VF Health Fitness Solutions, providing services such as community health and fitness and corporate wellness management, led by people who are empathetic, sympathetic, and passionate about the health and wellness of Black and Latino people. Valerie?
Thank you. As the owner of VF Health Fitness Solutions, serving North Minneapolis, Minnesota, we offer culturally relevant and accessible health fitness solutions for folks of all ages. Let me take you back to a gorgeous day in 2014. I'm listening to KMOJ radio while driving down Penn Avenue. My sunroof is open, and "This Is How We Do It" is bumping. Dancing in my seat and going to pick up my son from his after-school program. Then the DJ came on to talk about the extreme health disparities of Black and Brown people in Minnesota. As someone who's been through her own weight loss journey, I tuned in. I learned that day that 50,000 mothers and daughters die every year in America due to heart failure because they are Black. More than 30% of Black Minnesotans are obese, and 72% are likely to have diabetes. And 56% of our children are obese, 56. In one of the healthiest states in the nation, I'm twice as likely to die than a white woman of a disease that is 80% preventable because I am Black. This beautiful day turned into a raging tornado of emotions. I was upset to hear of the high rates of poor health in my community and the egregious number of women dying of cardiovascular disease, obesity, and diabetes in North Minneapolis. I prayed to be a change. I prayed to bring health and fitness and break the barriers for Black and Brown women because I am her and she is me and we want to live. In underserved communities, the gym is a luxury. And for those who can afford it, we seldom go because we don't relate to the instructors, the music, and none of the pictures on the walls look like us. And for years, trillions of dollars is being poured into the health system, and I'm still twice as likely to die because I am Black. See, often our voices are left out as part of the solution. Representation matters. So I became a certified fitness instructor, a lifestyle coach, and I created Afro Caribe. Since 2014, my classes have consistently been the largest that North Minneapolis have seen. We've outgrown 3 locations. During the pandemic, with an online pivot, I've maintained to keep my client base and went national. Through organizations like North Point Health and Wellness, Target, and the Girl Scouts, I've been able to keep giving free classes. But the real success, though, those are the groups of grandmothers, mothers, and grandkids that come into class. It is the women who needed help to walk in, who needed help at the beginning. And a few months later, they're assisting others. I plan to build a space within the community that is focused on healing, nurturing, and strengthening the Black woman. So imagine this space where she is greeted by a landscape that looks like a botanical garden, where a scent of chamomile instantly relaxes her. She stops at the cafe to get a snack before class. Her kid screams and say, "Hey mom, there you go," as he points to a picture on the wall. The instructor greets the class and looks at her and says, "Girl, I'm playing your song today." The beat drops, she's dancing to hip hop and reggae. When the class ends, it closes with words of encouragement. "I love you." She's on her way to the sauna. She takes a shower, then picks up her kid. But she goes home with the strength to keep facing the world. VF Health Fitness Solutions will use a social enterprise to build sustainable and impact-driven business within our community that brings economic change. We want to break the barriers and break the cycle and create and bring health and fitness to a generation of people. Because I am her and she is me. So, as a founder of this company, I'm uniquely qualified to lead because I am her and she is me. I'm being mentored by a 20-year fitness industry leader, and I have worked with some of the top fitness clubs in Minnesota. This grant that you will give me is your commitment and your investment to a better Minneapolis. It will help me jumpstart the planning to see this space come into reality. VF Health Fitness intends to be a relentless agent for a future where families can live full and healthy lives. I am her and she is me.
Valerie, thank you so much. You know, you said that a few times, I am her and she is me. And that is clearly what gives you the drive to have the empathy that you need to make everybody feel loved, that walks in and has the opportunity to participate in what you have to offer. So thank you so much for putting that all together. Last but not least, we will hear from Allison Weinlater from Cardio Melon. What a great name. An online fitness program combining thinking exercises with cardiovascular workouts to support healthy aging for adults over 50. Allison?
Hi, I am so excited to be here. Thank you so much. I am a speech therapist, and I'm also the CEO and founder of Cardio Melon. To help you understand what Cardio Melon is all about, I want to share a story about a woman who helped inspire this program. Meet Phyllis. She's in her mid-60s. She lives in St. Paul with her mother. Phyllis is a caregiver. Her mother had a stroke 15 years ago, and now she has dementia. Phyllis has been caring for her mother for over a decade, and before that, she took care of her own family. Lately, Phyllis is not feeling very well. She feels kind of slow. She feels like she doesn't have a lot of energy. Mentally, she feels like her memory is kind of fuzzy and she's not thinking of her words very well. So Phyllis goes to see her doctor. Her doctor says, Phyllis, your blood pressure is out of control. Your blood sugars are not well managed. You need to make some changes right away or you're going to have a stroke like your mother. Phyllis leaves that appointment feeling terrified about her future. She's also angry and ashamed that she has put her health on hold for so long to take care of other people. And Phyllis is wondering, is this something I can actually do anything about, or is this just an inevitable part of aging? I meet women like Phyllis in my work as a speech therapist after they've had a stroke, and I see all the barriers they face to taking care of themselves. So I thought there needs to be one tool that women can use that is low cost and efficient that they can access at home that's going to help them make their brains and their bodies stronger. And that's why I invented Cardio Melon. Cardio Melon is the only online home fitness program that pairs cardiovascular workouts with cognitive training. So what does that look like? In a typical Cardio Melon workout, you might be learning a dance move. And while you're moving your body, you're going to be asked to recall 3 words from the start of the video to the end of the video. Or you're going to be doing some chair yoga. And while you're stretching, you're going to be trying to calculate what is a 15% tip on a $20 bill. Or you're going to be doing boxing. And while you're boxing, you're going to name words that start with C. So you have all these really novel, interesting brain challenges that you're doing with your mind while you're exercising your body. Why brain and body fitness though? So we know that the brain does change as we age, and sooner than most people think. Starting in your 40s and 50s, the brain can start to lose volume. However, exercise sends blood flow to crucial areas that promote thinking and cognition as we get older. In fact, regular exercise can grow the size of your hippocampus, which is your memory region, and your medial temporal lobe, which is where you house language. The most exciting news is that there is new research that shows when you pair cognitive exercise with physical activity, you can actually strengthen your brain more than if you just exercise or just did cognitive training alone. So I want you to work your melon for a sec while I throw some numbers at you. Women who have heart disease are 30% more likely to get dementia and cognitive decline. 30 minutes of exercise most days, that's the length of a Cardio Melon workout, can reduce the risk of heart disease by 30 to 40%. However, Minnesota has a huge problem. We have a major disparity issue here. African-American women like Phyllis are at a greater risk of getting stroke and heart disease, and they're 40% more likely to die of stroke than their white counterparts. That is absolutely unacceptable. Cardio Melon can help reduce that number. Here's how. With funding from the American Heart Association, we're going to add 200 new members from communities of color by doing robust outreach and offering discounted memberships. I'm also going to create 50 fully funded scholarships so that income is not a barrier for low-income women. And then I'm going to hire more personal trainers of color so that I can create the diverse content that when women use CardioMelon, they see themselves in their trainers, they feel inspired and motivated to come back and do their exercises. Now, if Phyllis was using CardioMelon, she'd be telling you, I'm exercising at least 3 days a week. I am trying out new activities that strengthen my body and my mind because I've learned from CardioMelon that if I want to fight the aging process on my brain and my body, I've got to stay physically active and challenge my brain. And her blood pressure and her blood sugars are better controlled. There are thousands of women like Phyllis here in Minnesota who are ready to turn up the power. They are ready for a change. CardioMelon, with the help of the American Heart Association, can help these women live longer, healthier lives. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Allison. That might be the first time I've ever heard that multitasking has a good outcome, exercising both your brain and your body at the same time. Otherwise, multitasking isn't such a good idea. Thank you so much. I don't think I could decide between these outstanding individuals and their very innovative approaches. Thank you all so much for sharing your stories. While we give our judges some time to deliberate, I'd like to invite Holly Messick, the Senior Vice President and Executive Director of the American Heart Association Twin Cities, to share some remarks and special acknowledgements. Holly?
Thank you, Arkel. I am so inspired by all of the women we have heard from this evening on this beautiful day in Minnesota. Love that the sun is shining and couldn't be more inspired by hearing from 8 change makers who are wanting to make their communities healthier by addressing social determinants of health and health equity. Both of these factors are absolutely critical to the heart and brain health of all Americans. The American Heart Association reduced deaths from heart attack and stroke by 71% between the years 1968 and 2018. And although those results were inspiring, they weren't equitable across zip code. And we really, as an organization, knew that we needed to stand for the health equity of all. And so we expanded our work and our mission in communities, and we looked to the amazing leaders and organizations who were already addressing social determinants of health that we knew were getting in the way of people's health. And you've heard from 8 of them this evening, 8 incredible leaders who are taking it upon themselves because they know it's the right thing to do for their neighbors and their friends and loved ones. So the American Heart Association couldn't be more proud to really work together to amplify voices like you've heard tonight and others. And over $1.1 million is going to be funded to support, is going to be given to support community solutions to improve health equity. And this is through the Empowered to Serve Business Accelerator that we're a part of tonight, our Social Impact Fund, as well as some funding we're giving to locally federally qualified health centers who are working so hard to address hypertension. While every community has its own strengths and challenges, when it comes to achieving health equity, tonight we are focused on Minnesota. Let's take a look how social determinants of health affect all Minnesotans. Wow, I've seen that a couple of times, and every time I do, seeing that just devastating age gap difference, the life expectancy gap, and how it is such an extreme difference between where you live. And the line in there about we don't get to choose where we live, but we all deserve equitable health. And to that, I say absolutely. And certainly love that there's so many of you on this program tonight that are working so hard to make a difference. So that is a possibility. So right now we're going to have an attempt at another poll and hope that it works again. We had success this last time, so hoping that it strikes again with some success. So here's our third and final poll of the evening. Remember to text AHA polling to the number 22333 to participate. And if you've already participated in our other polls, it should show up. So here is the polling question. Blank percent of Americans under 65 do not have health insurance coverage. Is it A, 2%, B, 12.1%, C, 30.5%, D, 50%, or E, none of the above? So get your answers in and let's see how well you do on these questions that we've been giving tonight, which it's fun to play a game, but certainly not fun for what they're highlighting for us in our communities, just vital work that still needs to be done for all of us. So the answer is B, 12.1% of Americans under 65 do not have health insurance coverage. Not only is it important to have health insurance, but the AHA recognizes the importance of promoting health literacy as well. So individuals have the capacity to understand basic health information and make appropriate health decisions and take the actions that they need. So I would just like to thank you all for being here. Special thank you to Tiffany and Courtney, our lovely co-chairs who led us to this evening tonight, and all of the executive leadership team members. And Arkel, before I turn it over to you, I just want to say we couldn't have asked for a more caring and thoughtful MC. I just really appreciate that you're giving us the gift of your time tonight, and I'll turn it back to you to close us out. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And I couldn't think of a better way to spend this evening. So thank you, Holly, for sharing more about the Empowered to Serve Business Accelerator, how Empowered to Serve Business Accelerator connects with the work of the American Heart Association. To continue the life-saving work of the AHA, please consider making a gift. To donate, you can visit heart.org/Twin Cities Go Red Events. We'll also put that link in the chat box to make it easy for you. And now is the time you have all been waiting for. I have received word from our judges that the scores have been tabulated, and we have 2 grantees for the first ever women-focused Empowered to Serve Business Accelerator. I invite our judges, Dr. Reka Mankad and Maria Jaramillo, to announce our winners.
Thank you, Arkel. The judges were so impressed with each of our candidates' business stories. So I'm pleased to announce that our second place finalist receiving a grant of $10,000 is from Allison with CardioMelon. Congratulations, Allison.
So Allison is on mute, but I can see how excited and thrilled she is. So that's okay. That's okay. So congratulations, Allison. Well deserved. So I completely concur with Maria's sentiments. Each of these women has offered us such valuable perspectives, and each is making a tangible impact on health equality and health equity in all of our communities. So with that, I'm honored to announce the first place finalist, who's going to be receiving a grant of $15,000. And drum roll, it is Miss Kimberly Brown with Get Up and Get Moving. Congratulations, Kimberly. So thank you to both of our winners and all of the applicants. Each of you, all of you have been truly inspirational, and I know you're going to make some major changes within your communities and really impact the health of all of our communities. And with that, I turn it back to you, Arkel.
Well, congratulations, Allison and Kimberly, and thank you to all 8 of our Business Accelerator candidates this year. The work that you're doing to improve the health and well-being of our community is truly, truly inspiring. We wish you luck as your businesses continue to grow. Audience members can find more information on all of our candidates and their business ventures at empoweredtoserve.org/MN. We will also include these links in a follow-up email. I know you will join me in congratulating our winners, as well as every other candidate for their forward thinking. We have witnessed such incredible commitment and passion to Go Red for Women and the Business Accelerator this year, so much that we've already had sponsors pledge their support for our 2022 Go Red event. That's amazing. Thank you to our sponsors. We are so very excited to see what we can accomplish together in the next year. And with that, thank you so, so much for joining us this evening, for lending your time and attention to these wonderful community change makers. Have a great, great night.